Hey, welcome back to the Indigo Room. I am your host, Sydney Chase, and today we're talking about when the bad becomes your good. Yeah, seriously, it can happen. Welcome to the Indigo Room. How you doing? I am your host, Sydney Chase, and this is where we discuss all things spiritual. And by that, I mean that we are non-physical spiritual beings having physical human experiences. Life is supposed to be good. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be delicious, even when it is wicky wacky. But before we get into my topic, I got a little sage for you. I got some Palo Santo wood, and we're just gonna sage ourselves because we're talking about wicky wacky stuff, and you may need some. Anyway, and if you haven't picked up some Palo Santo wood or sage for yourself and for your home, please do that and clear your space. So here you go. Here's some for you and you and you and me. It smells delicious. It smells heavenly. And you know what? With all the things that are going on right now, y'all probably need some of this. I know I do on a regular. On a regular. Now that we've got the sage going, it's still, you might see some smoke coming across your screen. I want to make sure that we all tickle our amygdala. Tickle, tickle, tickle your amygdala. Now, see, you got a dirty mind, okay? Your amygdala is right here, up above your temples. And when you tickle your amygdala, your frontal lobe and your amygdala is clicked open, your frontal lobe is lit up. Woo! It's lit up, it's bright. You feel good, you feel happy, you smile, and when your amygdala is clicked closed, you ain't feeling so good. You ain't feeling happy. You not feeling no joy. You feeling like, you know, everything is going downhill. So it's a really great brain hack to be able to click your amygdala open, especially when you got a lot of wicky wacky nonsense going on. So first I want you to close your eyes. If you're driving the car, do not close your eyes. If you're riding a bike, don't close your If you're walking, don't close your eyes. Riding a bike, walking, you want to be someplace quiet. You want to be someplace relaxed. You close your eyes and you imagine that you have a feather in your hand. And you decide what your feather looks like. You decide what it feels like. I want you to really, really get into your imagination. And then just start to feel it, feel the bristles of your feather. What does your feather feel like? What does it look like? All in your imagination. This is a great brain hack. It's a great imagination hack for you to get into your imagination. Feel what that feather feels like, what it looks like. What is your feather like? And then once you have the color, the feel, the texture, you're going to move that feather up to the center of your forehead and slide it in. Mm-hmm. All the way up in there. Okay? And then you're going to slide the feather over to your right and tickle your amygdala on the right. And then slide the feather over to your left and tickle your amygdala on the left. And then pull the feather out of your head. You should be smiling. If you're not smiling, do it again. I always smile when I tickle my amygdala. So tonight's topic is when the bad becomes your good. Okay, so have you ever had something that happened to you that I'm not talking about death? We're not talking about that. And we're not talking about sickness of a family member or a death of a family member or someone that you loved. I'm talking about when something happens to you or there's a choice that you make and it feels like OMG, what is happening right now? Like, why did I make this choice? Why did I do this thing? Why is this happening to me right now? Why? 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 So that happens. You know, we make choices, we make decisions, and we're told to follow our intuition. And sometimes we follow our intuition and we feel this gut feeling. And then we wind up in a space and we go, oh my God, why is this happening? This doesn't make any sense. But if you stick in there, if you hang in there, you may find out the reason that something you chose or something you did works out for your good. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this topic is because last year, 2019, November 29th, 2019, I took a position at Amazon. Now, listen to this. Prior to taking the position in 2019, in October, I used to work for the Metropolitan Opera. And, you know, I left. I left in May of 2019. And I left because I had a feeling. I had a feeling, number one, that I probably was not going to be successful continuing to work here. But also, there were things that were happening there that I did not enjoy. Okay. So I'm going to add a video in that I did last year about the Metropolitan Opera. And you can fast forward to the end, but I want you to watch it because you have to understand your worth. You may be working at a position, or you may be in a relationship, or you may be doing some things where you are not being given the recognition that you deserve. And you know that you're absolutely, positively good at what you do. And the people that you're working for don't recognize your worth. You have to recognize your worth. It is up to you. It's not up to anybody else. And once you recognize your worth, you'll make different decisions. So I want you to take a look at a video that I made earlier this year about that specific topic. And then we'll come back. And we'll start it all over. Yeah, what, Nicole? You can hear me or you can't hear me. Dag nabbit. You said I was cutting out. I don't want to keep going if you can't hear me, if you can't hear me. Because this is important. I feel it's important anyway. You may not feel it's important, but I have to get it out. I have to get it out and I have to let it out. I'm probably going to lose some friends on Facebook, but I really don't give a damn. Nicole, can you hear me or not? Or nah? Yes or nah? It's hot here in New York City today. And today is our first day of reopening. And people have gone back to work today. Today was the first day of everybody going back. Not everybody, but a lot of people going back to work. I don't go back to work until Thursday. I'm off right now. This is my day off. Can you hear me, Nicole? Yes or no? Because you said I was cutting out. You the one. Be a helpful angel, and let me know if you can hear me. Dang. Okay, why isn't it? Okay, Manda said it's fine on this end. We're good. Yeah, I hear you. We hear you. Okay, all right, all right, all right. Yay! Awesome. Thank you. You know, these things don't scroll down. I have to actually scroll it. I'm not used to that because on YouTube it just goes and I can see it. Now I have to actually move it. But anyway, um, this is something that's been on my heart. That was my son Batsu Ono singing his version of What's Going On. And if you go to my Facebook page or you go to his Facebook page, you can actually hear it. It's a really good version. And share it. Share it with your friends, family, get the word out that, you did that. And it was very emotional. It was really a piece that he put his whole heart and soul into. And he's in Texas, and my other son is in Japan. And I'm in New York City by myself. So I decided in 2015 that I wanted to come back to New York City because I was having a hard time living in Pennsylvania. Not a hard, just mentally hard. I wanted to be back in New York City, and I'm an actress, and I wanted to be um, part of that energy that I love so much, the creative energy that I love so much. And I got a job at the Metropolitan Opera. I was so happy. I was so excited. I was thrilled beyond belief because one of the movies that I did at one point, I was an extra, and we filmed at the Met. And I just said, oh my God, it would be so great for me to work here. I would love to work here or be here, or, just go to an opera just once in my lifetime. And I did. Well, you know me, I'm a law of attraction person. I'm a teacher of spirituality, and I'm a teacher of Neville and using your imagination. And boy, did I create. It was just how it all fell into place. It was amazing. Sometimes, be careful what you ask for because you will get it. You will get it. So I got this job courtesy of my son calling me, Stephen, because he worked there too. And he was like, "Mom, you can come and work at the Met." I was like, "What?" So I submitted my application, and sure enough, I was hired. It was amazing. Everything just fell into place. And there's always a reason why things fall into place sometimes. And sometimes you don't even understand what is happening. You're just so happy that you manifested something. And I manifested working at the Met. Yay, me! So I got a job working in the call center. I was already working in a call center prior to that at Travelocity. We don't want to talk about that job. at all. And Telerex. We don't want to talk about that job at all. Nope, 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 nope. Microaggressions were there too. Anyway, what are microaggressions? First, before I even get into my whole Metropolitan Opera and the reason why I left that place that I loved so much. Microaggressions. Do you know what microaggressions are in your workplace, in your day to day life? What those are, what that means? Microaggressions are often, often used in the workplace if you are someone who is, black like me, or a minority, or you have a gender fluidity. Maybe you're transgender, or maybe you're gay. But right now, we're just going to talk about being black, okay? Being black in the workplace. And sometimes you'll hear people say, "Ooh, can I touch your hair? It's so, oh my God, my hair doesn't do that. What? Oh my God, look at you. You're so beautiful." No, you can't touch my hair, number one. Thank you for the compliment. But you can't touch my hair. It's my hair. And I know what you're doing. Another microaggression statement might be, "You don't sound black." Now, what the hell does that mean? I have had that happen all my life. "You don't sound black." What does black sound like? Could you, somebody, can somebody tell me what black sounds like? Often that's meant, you don't sound ghetto, or you don't sound like you're from the hood, or you don't sound uneducated or inarticulate. I've been told, "Oh, you know what? You sound white." What? That's nuts. Okay? I'm a black woman. I sound like I sound. This is my voice. I'm not trying to be anybody different. I'm not trying to be anything other than who I am right here, right now. This is me. However, that type of statement is what is considered a microaggression statement, and racially microaggressive, because now you have determined, not you, just the collective you have decided or determined what a black person should or has sounded like. Also, there is, I have a black friend. I have an Asian friend. So, I can't be racist. Yeah, you surely can. Absolutely. You surely can. Um, why don't you sound ghetto? Or why don't you have an accent? Or I'm colorblind. I don't see color. Well, if you don't see color, then you don't see me. Now, a lot of those things, a lot of those statements I have experienced in the arts, where you would think, because it's the arts, that they probably are more um, more accepting and more loving and more kind. I cannot even tell you how that is so not true. It is so not true. I got this job and I was really excited and I was really thankful and I was just so appreciative. I was so happy to be there. I was so happy to get this work. I was so happy to get this job. I was so happy to be at the Metropolitan opera. It was amazing. Costumes are created there, and everything that is on set is created right there, right in that space. And I was a part of that, and I was so excited to be there. I was so excited to get up every morning and go to work. And I'm not a morning person at all. I loved being there. I loved seeing the performers. I loved being able to hear the music. And I enjoyed it so much that I didn't notice what was happening around me for a minute until I had somebody say to me, because I have a marketing head, don't have a degree in marketing, but I've been a business owner. I have done, been, seen. I've worked for music artists. I've done so many things in my life that my experience has a marketing, I have a marketing experience. And someone said to me, oh, because I was bringing up stuff, that we could do at the Met. Like, we could do this and we could do that. And, I had all these ideas that we could do. But being who I am at the Metropolitan Opera, that was not appreciated, actually. And that's not just the Metropolitan Opera, that's just indicative of how it is in many workspaces as an African American in the United States. Because when we talk about Black Lives Matters, there's layers. There are layers to this. It's not just about somebody getting shot in the street. It's what led up to that. It's what America thinks about the African American person. So, anyway, getting back to my story, I was told that you have a marketing head, but I just want to tell you that you're probably not going to be able to get into marketing because that's not what happens here. You're in customer care, and that's where you're going to stay. I was like, what? You don't know me. You don't know me. And I took that as a challenge. The person that said that to me, I love her dearly. Don't get me wrong. She's amazing. But she saw something that I didn't know and I didn't see. And she was right. But I, at the time, decided she was wrong and took it as a challenge. So I worked my butt off, came into work every day, did my job every day, and I was good at it. Really good. And guess what? I got moved out of the call center, which, by the way, is predominantly black. A couple of other people that work there, but the majority of the people that work at the call center are predominantly black. And they take calls all day, every day, all day until 8 o'clock. From the time they come in until the time they come home, till the time they leave and they turn the phones off. They're working their butts off. And they are the front line, actually. They are who the patrons call to get tickets and get their exchanges done and have all their problems handled. And the majority of the people that work on that floor are African American or minorities. They make minimum wage. And when I say minimum wage, they make, I don't know, before like the minimum wage in New York City went up to $15, they were making minimum wage basically and working like you would not believe. And the reason why I can say that is because I worked on that call. I worked on the coal floor, and after a year, I got taken. I applied for a different position. Actually, I didn't really apply for it. It was brought to me, and I moved out, and I went to go to marketing. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is so exciting. I'm so excited. This is just, oh my God, this is what? My imagination is working. And I went and landed on the fifth floor, which is below the call center. And when I first started working there was a team of us. There was like 4 of us that was answering emails, and the same amount of work that the call center had, we did this in emails. And it was trial by fire, basically. It just got thrown in pretty much, and there was really no training, and I just figured it out and created emails and created a atmosphere and learned on the fly, because that's how I am. I can learn on the fly. And one day, while I'm doing my job, a job that now is not just like being on the call floor, being on the call center, and shout out to everybody that's on the call floor and the call center at the Metropolitan Opera, because you guys do the work. You guys really should get paid. And the reason why I can say all that again is because I've worked there and I know what you do. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because the Metropolitan Opera put a big ass notice out about how they care about Black Lives Matters, and this is something that bothers me about that place that I love, because the majority of the people that are in the higher spots, in the higher positions, they're not African American. They're not. We are in spaces that we don't really have a say about how things operate in the Metropolitan Opera. And that's also with Amazon as well. Probably get fired from that too. But you don't have people of color on the board and in leadership positions, and Amazon doesn't either. And when you put out these notices that Black Lives Matter, you have to really look at where and what you are doing within your own company. You have to look at the microaggressions that you do daily to the African Americans that work for you hard, and they love being there every single day, and they do their jobs every single day, and they love what they do, and yet can't get a raise, can't be promoted. It's really unconscionable to me. And that's the reason why I left the Metropolitan Opera, because I wound up in this space. I got this new position where I was answering every single email that comes into the Metropolitan Opera. We have 4 people on my team, and by the time I left, there was only one. One. Me. For over a year. I was answering every single email. I was doing just the same. I was doing all of the work that 34 people plus managers were doing in the call center. I was doing by myself, answering emails. It's crazy. It was amazing. It was unbelievable. And I asked for help. And I requested help. And I even asked because at one point I got hurt and they allowed me to be able to work from home, which was wonderful. It was great. I was like, yes, I could work from home so that I can recuperate. And when I finally went back to work, and some days I would sit down at my desk and I would have 500 emails from the night before. 500, because the emails never shut down. They don't shut down. And I said, I went to my management, I went to everybody and asked if they could at least give me an assistant, somebody to help me with these emails. But there's this weird mentality at the Met, and if you're doing the job, then you don't need help because you're doing it already. And I remember one day, one of the supervisors came stomping into my office. And she read me like I can't even tell you, up and down. All she had to do was cuss me out, but she didn't. And her supervisor's office, who was the head of the department, was right next door. And she heard her yelling at me. I'm the only black person in that section, the only African American in that section. And she felt it was okay to come in and dress me down. And she does that on a regular. It's not new. And I sat at my desk trying to defend myself on something that another supervisor had told me to do. And I could feel, like I could feel the rage coming up out of me. And I wanted to beat her down. I really did. I wanted to just, and I couldn't, because then I would be the angry black woman in the office. So I had to calm myself down and walk out. But I wound up crying at my desk first, while I called the other supervisor to find out so that he could explain to her what had just transpired. And the thing that stuck in my craw the most was no one said anything to help me or defend me, knowing I was in the right. Not her supervisor, not the head of the department who heard all this kerfuffle. She did not come in and say, what's going on? Can we just calm down? Can everybody? No, she didn't come to my defense. She didn't handle it. She didn't do anything. And they are what's known. There's a whole group of them. Whole group that systematically keeps their team low. They're here, and everybody else is here. And everybody else that's on their team is African American like me. Pretty much the majority or minority. There's a couple of them that are not. So, anyway, I decided that enough was enough. I had gone above and beyond. I had asked for help. I had asked for assistance. I had asked for somebody to come in, and they would send me people every once in a while. I would train them, and then the people would leave. So finally I got fed up and I said, listen. And I watched other people get raises. Other people, not other African American people, other people get raises. And no, there's never enough money for Sydney. You can't get a raise. We don't have enough money for you for that to happen. Even though we know you're doing a really good job, even though we know that you're answering every single email for the Metropolitan Opera, even though we know that you're answering every email for the other departments as well, even though we know that you work from home when you were sick, even though all of that, we can't give you a raise. Not 1 cent, not 5 cents, not 10 cents. 1 cent, 5 cent, 10 cent dollar. Not one of that. So finally I decided I was okay, that's it. I'm gonna leave. And when I decided to leave, I don't think they thought that it was gonna happen. But before I left, I said, listen, I figured out a solution. I figured out how we can answer all of these emails so I'm not working 6 days a week, and we can and we don't have to hire another person. I will work from home 2 days a week, 2 or 3 days a week, because when I work from home, I get more work done than when I'm in my office because everybody comes into the office and wants to talk to me. Everybody. It was busy. And they said no because I don't even know. I don't even know. It was not the business model for me to be able to work from home. Now everybody's working from home, mind you, because of COVID. They had to do it. Everybody's working from home. But Sydney could not work from home to actually help them not have to hire another person or spend more money paying me overtime. I, I came up with a whole plan. I came up with a whole business plan. I was like, look, you could do this, and this is how this will work. You will save money, and I won't have to work 6 days a week answering 500 emails. No. Okay, I'm going to have to give you 30 days notice. 30 days. I gave them 30 days notice. What did you say, Nicole? See, I knew that place had you on the shitter. I loved being there, though. I loved the costumes. I used to work next door to the costume shop. It was amazing. It was beautiful. And, I got to see all of the productions before they got staged or while they were getting staged. It was just it's such an eclectic place. However, when the Metropolitan Opera says that they care about Black lives, they really don't. That's a lie. Okay? This year or this season was the first time that they have ever had an all African American or all Black cast performance. Do you know how old the Metropolitan Opera is? Do you? It's old. And this is the first time this year Porgy and Bess was the one that they chose to do, which I love Porgy and Bess. Porgy, summertime, and the living is easy. Yeah, I love that. Love it. Love it. Love all the performances. It's amazing what the Metropolitan Opera does. And what this is not on all of the people that work there, this is the management. Okay? This is the management. So when you talk about Black Lives Matter, how come you don't have any black people on the board or in leadership positions? That's Cleopatra. Relax. Come here. And the new kitty. How come you don't have any African Americans in leadership positions? This is what I want to know. Why not? They really, really do a good job. They really, really, really are intelligent. They're smart. They're creative. And yet, they are not represented. Why? Why is it that I had to beg, plead over a year to get help in a position that had 4 people and now it was only 1, and y'all couldn't just bring somebody in to help a sister out or pay me more money? Do you know how much money I made an hour? $16.36 an hour, answering emails every single day, all day long, 6 days a week. And if I did any extra overtime, boy, that was a problem. But there's money available for all other kinds of things. But not for the people who really, really love their jobs and who really, really do the work and who really, really come in every day and sometimes do it at home for nothing. Why is that? So you got these big, plaques and how we love black people and whatever it is that you said. And you're talking the talk, but you're not walking the walk. I'm not there anymore. But this has been sitting on my chest for a long time. So now I'm getting it out. Hopefully, you will do better by the people who work for you, the African Americans who work for you. I know some people who are there who have never gotten a promotion for years, and they've been there for years doing the same job, for years working for you, for years never getting a raise. African Americans that love the arts, that love opera, that love being there. And yet, you systematically, there is such a systematic racism there's so much systemic racism going on in the Metropolitan Opera that it is just disgusting. And the times that I have brought attention to certain things, I was told, oh, that's not what they meant. Or, oh, she didn't mean that. Or, oh, I don't think you heard her correctly. No, I know what racism is. I've experienced it. I know what it is. So how do you get to tell me what it's not? So this is for all of you that are in positions, that are in places or in spaces. Speak up, use your voice, or walk the hell out. Let them know that you understand who you are. You understand your power. You understand that your worth, what your worth is. Let them know. Step up to the plate and let people know, you know what? You can't do this to me anymore. You can't treat me like this anymore. And I'm leaving. And I'm not going to be here. Or you have to pay me more money, or hire somebody to help me, for crying out loud. Slave days are over, honey. That's it. So I may lose some friends from the Metropolitan Opera because they don't want to speak out, but I'm speaking out for you. I'm not there anymore because I left. The reason that I left is because I know my worth. I know that I'm worth more than $16 an hour. The minimum wage is $15 an hour in New York City. And the amount of work that I was doing for you every single day was worth more than $16 an hour, or at least hiring somebody who could help me to do that work. Then when I finally approach you, you tell me, Sydney, don't leave. We don't want you to go. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Sorry, we don't want you to leave. Can you stay until September? Because we're thinking about making you a manager. You've been telling me that for 3 years. And what did I say? If you recall, I said, excuse me, no disrespect, but I don't believe you anymore. No, no, no. You don't love me, and I know now. So, anyway, that's my story about being at the Metropolitan Opera and why I left the Metropolitan Opera. I love the Metropolitan Opera. I would still be there today if they had heard me and listened, even just for a minute. There is one person who heard my story and understood what I was saying. I ain't gonna call her out, but she knows who she is. And I thank you for that. I thank you for your integrity. I thank you for your love. I thank you for standing up for me. I thank you for walking me back to my office. And there are some people that got it and they know who they are too. And I thank you for being my friends at the Met while I was there. But trust me, if you're still there and you see these microaggressions and you see these things happening to the African Americans that are still working there, that are still in the spaces, they can't move up, they don't have an opportunity to move up, speak up. You got your raise, they didn't. They're still doing a lot of work for a small amount of money. Everybody's not equal at the Met. So speak up and help out, reach out, and stand in front of those who aren't able to get the things that you're getting. I know what it's like to work on the 5th floor. I know what it's like to walk into an office and people look at you because you're not supposed to be there. I know what it's like to have parties and you go to attend the parties and people look at you like, what are you doing here? Because you're not supposed to be here. I know what that feels like and I know what that is. But the rest of you who are still there, who still work with African Americans, don't let that happen to anybody else. Don't let them feel less than. Don't let them feel like they're not a part of the Met. Because they are. It couldn't happen without a lot of those people that are still working it. Trust me. Anyway, so next time I'm going to be talking about microaggressions in the spiritual community. Child, boy, do I have stories for you about that. So I'm going to roll out. I'm going to play my son's song one more time before we leave. So Thank you for listening to me. So welcome back. After hearing my story about working at the Metropolitan Opera, I want to share with you my story about working at Amazon. And I got to tell you that I really, really, really thought I was a nut job. I was like insane in the membrane for having left the Metropolitan Opera to go work at Amazon. And trust me, I was insane. I said, what am I doing? Because when I left the Metropolitan Opera in July of 2019, I was supposed to be starting my new job at Amazon. Same time frame. Amazon said, "Oh, you want to start July 5th?" I said, Amazon said, "You're going to start July 5th." And I said, "Well, I can't start July 5th because that's my last day at my previous job." And they said, "Okay, well, you need to um, pick a new day." Okay. So I picked a new day. There were no days available. So I was like, okay, what does that mean? And basically, when you go to work at Amazon, be prepared to work immediately. Okay? Just be prepared to work immediately. And that's not how I work. I work, you give 2 weeks notice, and then you start your new job. That's not how they work. So between July 5th and when I actually started, which was October 29th, I was unemployed. I had no unemployment benefits. I had no income coming in. I had some money saved. I used that all up. And I was on the precipice of probably being homeless, of, just losing everything. So I understand what people are going through right now in the middle of COVID, in the middle of not having a clue about what is going to happen. So for 4 months, I was unemployed. For 4 months, I didn't pay my rent. For 4 months, I didn't pay my electric bill. For 4 months, I had, basically no income coming in. So I was at the edge. The edge, right at the edge. And then Amazon sent me a text message. There's a whole story about how I wound up finally getting back into the Amazon system. I'll tell you about that in another day. But I finally got to work. I finally got into the Amazon system. I finally was considered an Amazonian. And that was my start date, October 29th. Well, I just want to say that my experience working at Amazon, my first 30 days, I don't think they really give you an indication of what you're going to experience. Every day, my feet hurt, my hair hurt, my eyeballs hurt, my back hurt, my neck hurt, my hands hurt, my legs hurt, my thighs hurt, my toes hurt, my elbows hurt. What other part can I talk about that hurt? Everything hurt. But my feet were the worst. Okay? They used to talk to my other body parts. They used to talk to my other body parts at night. And they had a whole litany of things to say. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you how my feet used to betray me every night. I could hear my feet talking to the rest of my body, and they would be like, "If y'all don't stand up to this bish tomorrow, okay? I'm just going to walk us all right up on out of here. We're going to walk right up on out of Amazon, okay? Because y'all got me out here wearing these daggone tennis shoes 11,000 hours a day, and y'all know that's not right. That's not right. Every night for 30 days. That's the conversation that my feet would have with the rest of my body. I questioned my sanity. I was like, why did you leave the Metropolitan Opera? It makes no sense. Why? Why did you do that? Why did you? Well, I know why I left the Metropolitan Opera, but so you question yourself because now you're in the thick of it. This is bad. I would wake up every morning and send light and love and energy to the whole space because it just felt like such a dark place. Dark. Like there was just dark energies running around and attacking me. That's how I felt when I was there every day. And I would wake up in the morning. I was getting up at 4:30 every morning. And I am not a morning person. And I would say to my feet, I would have a conversation with my feet. I would look down at my feet and I would say, feet, what are we doing today? What are we doing today? And my feet would be like, we walking out. That's what we're doing. And then after my shift was over, because I worked 10 hours, you stand 10 hours a day. And I would say, feet, come on now. Let's go catch this bus. And my feet said, nope, we out. We going dark. We ain't doing it. And I would literally drag my body. No, literally, because my feet would not, they were not cooperating. I would drag my entire body, just sliding my feet across, and I would look at how far the entrance was at Amazon to the bus stop, and I just wanted to cry every day. And I would drag my body, literally drag it across the parking lot, which was huge, to the bus stop and get on it. And then I would have to drag myself to the next bus, because I had to take 2 buses. And then I would have to drag myself up a mega hill, because I live on a big hill. Staten Island is nothing but a mountain. And I would have to drag myself up to my apartment every day for 30 days. They have an onboarding system, and they tell you during your first day, like, you don't remember this stuff. You don't remember it because there's so much information being given to you at your first day. And they said, oh, you're not going to need a gym membership anymore because, you're going to get a workout at Amazon. I was like, yeah, okay, well, I don't even know what that means. I'm going to tell you what it means. It means you do not need a gym membership ever again if you are an Amazon employee, especially if you're working on the ship dock. I lost 10 pounds working on the ship dock. I had already dropped down to 175 pounds. Now I was 165 pounds. I'm just going to blow out this candle so I don't burn myself up. So 30 days of me every day thinking, this is the day I quit. This is the day that I quit Amazon. But I had rent to pay. I had bills to pay. I had things to catch up on. And every day I got up and I went to work. I'm not a morning person. I got up at 4:30 in the morning. Now it's 4 o'clock I get up because my shift changed. And I'd work those 10 hours, and you cannot sit down for those 10 hours except when you're on your break. And now we get 2 breaks. We used to get 3. Now we have 2. We used to get 1 break for lunch and then 2 15-minute breaks. Now we get 1 break for lunch or one morning break for 30 minutes, and then we get another break for 35 minutes. So um, that's good, I guess. I like the breaks broken up, but whatever. I don't have a say in how the breaks work. So that was a year ago. One entire year, October 29th, 2019, that I started working at Amazon. And I felt like I was in hell. I truly did. I ain't gonna lie. I, I ain't gonna lie. I felt like I was in hell. But today, I am a woman of a certain age. Y'all still don't know my age. Some of you do. Majority of you don't. It's none of your business. But I can now say that my feet have adjusted, my body has adjusted. I'm used to the work. I've never worked on a ship dock in my life. I used to work for a company and laid tile and carpet, and I would carry big rolls of carpet on my shoulder like a man. Okay? This is worse, was worse to me than that, working on the ship dock. But one of the things that I found out that I loved about the ship dock was I got to move around. And some positions in Amazon, you really can't move around. And I love the fact that I can move around and I can talk to people and I can still get my work done. The other thing that turned out to be a plus was job recognition, right? So at my other job where I never got a raise, I've been there 5 years and never got a raise. And you saw from my video how I was treated. There is job recognition. I've had 2 raises in the 1 year that I've been there. I've also had 2 new positions as well. I am now a problem solver, which I love because I get to use the computer and I get to figure out why this package is a problem and fix it. I also am an ambassador. So some of the things that I didn't quite enjoy when I first became an Amazon employee, I make sure that the new hires get what I missed. So I love doing that. I love teaching, right? That's why I'm here in the Indigo room. It's one of the things that I like to do. And so I do that as well. So I'm a problem solver and I am an ambassador, a learning ambassador, and I help the new hires figure out their way so they don't feel so stressed out like I did when I first came there. I make sure that they understand that their body's going to hurt like all get out for the first 30 days. And Epsom salt is your friend. So one of the things, the reason why I'm doing this video, one of the reasons why I'm saying that there are bad things that can become your good is because initially I thought, oh my God, I am insane. I'm in hell. Amazon is hell. And now even though I hate to admit it, I'm actually enjoying my time there. I can go back to school, which I'm going to do, and get my degree, finish my degree. There are benefits. There are wonderful benefits. And when you change the way you look at things, the things you are looking at change. I think you remember when I said when I first started there last year and I said, you know, there was a supervisor there that I wanted to kick her behind. We're good friends now. And even though I still don't get to interact with my coworkers as much as I would like, I do feel like Amazon has improved, especially since COVID-19. came on the scene. They are on task. They are taking care of their employees, and they're looking at, different ways that they can make your experience better. And that's a good thing. And there are ways for you to move up, and it's not based on the color of your skin, which is something that I love. So, all in all, what I thought was a bad thing has turned in to good. And I know that there's a lot of people that have bad experiences working at Amazon, or that say that Jeff Bezos is the devil incarnate. He's not to me. I have grown, I have learned a lot, and I hope that I continue to grow and that I continue to learn more. Now, this was not what I expected it to be. I did not expect to become an advocate for Amazon, because Amazon gets on my daggone nerves sometimes before I became an employee. But there's a lot of good there. This year, Amazon gave us $110. This year, Amazon gave us $110 towards work shoes. My feet are very happy now because I just about wore out my tennis shoes. My feet is happy. Would I recommend working at Amazon? Yeah, right now I would. Absolutely. If you're thinking about working at Amazon and you need a job because maybe your job, because of COVID, you don't have the security that you're looking for right now, or you don't have the job, you don't have income coming in, not security, because nothing is secure. But if you don't have the income coming in right now and you have the opportunity to work at Amazon, I would say take the job. If you need coaching, if you need help, if you have questions about working at Amazon, I have my own coaching business, but I could definitely steer you correctly. Don't quit like I had thought about doing every day for 30 days. I didn't think I was going to last 3 months. I didn't think I was going to last a month. And now I'm there for a whole year. One single year. 2 raises, 2 new positions, job recognition, and it's not based on the color of my skin. I don't know how long I'm going to work with Amazon. I don't know if I'm going to be there forever. As I said, I'm a woman of a certain age. But right now, what I thought was bad turned out to be for my good. And the company that I used to work for, the Metropolitan Opera, so many of my former coworkers are no longer employed. And that makes me kind of sad for them, because at this point, the way COVID is and the economy and the elections, everything is up in the air for them. The Metropolitan Opera is not opening back up until December 2021. That's next December. So for me, something that I thought was bad turned out for my good. What were some of the things you thought were bad for you that turned out for your good? Put it in the comments below. Remember to like, thumbs up, comment, subscribe. It helps the algorithm of the Indigo Room. Remember who you are. Remember that you are source energy right here in a physical body. You can be, do, and have anything that you desire. And remember, it's not being extraordinary that makes you unique. It is your uniqueness that makes you extraordinary. Have a great night. Have a great week. And we'll see you next time on the Indigo Room.